Kensington Tallman. Thank you so much for joining me. How are you? How have you been?
I'm doing really good. Thank you
Good.
so much for having me today. I'm so excited.
No worries. It's exciting to have you on. I mean, you've just done a major role in Inside Out, and it's a great movie. So I'm sure there's going to be a lot to talk about.
Thank you so much. I'm so excited to be talking about Inside Out 2 today.
Yeah.
And yeah, I can't wait to tell you all about it.
How you feeling at the moment with the movie release, and what's been going on for you? I mean, you must be quite busy, since it's released and all that.
Yes, it's been wild. I am so unbelievably thankful for this opportunity to get to spread the message of Inside Out 2. It deals a lot with mental health and anxiety, and it's really given me a platform to advocate for mental health awareness.
Mm.
And it's insane that it's reached, over $1 billion, which is
Wow.
absolutely incredible. The cast is so amazing, and there's been so many opportunities. I got to go to the premiere, which was such an incredible experience.
Mm.
D23 is coming up, so I'm really excited for that. And yeah, I mean, it's so inspiring to see how this movie has affected audiences across the world,
Mm.
and people of all ages too, because I think that's what's really special about Inside Out too, is it captivates each audience, teenagers, young kids, adults.
Mm.
Um, it's amazing.
Wow, yeah. See, I even went to the cinema and watched it, and I'm like 31. So, yeah, and my friend's like almost in his 40s, and we still went to go and watch it. Like, it's just an exciting movie. I mean, yeah, everyone can relate to it these days, especially with movies now, anyway, as well. It's not just all about the animation, is it? So, yeah. How did you feel that you got given the role, for Riley for Inside Out? Like, how did you feel when you found out?
It was so surreal. I still can't even believe it.
Mm.
I saw Inside Out 1 when I was 6 years old. And I just remember crying in the theaters. And that movie has impacted my life in so many different ways. I feel like I've really grown up with Riley. I relate to her so much.
Mm.
And when I got the audition, I was like, oh my gosh, this is my girl. This is
Mm.
Riley. And I did the audition, I got a call back, and next thing I knew, I was recording at Pixar. And just being at Pixar was one of the most amazing experiences of my life. Definitely a core memory for sure.
Mm. Mm.
Seeing the creatives and seeing the artwork and seeing, this character come to life over the span of 2 years was absolutely incredible. And I feel so grateful that Pixar has allowed me to play such an iconic character.
Yeah, did you like expect to get, such a big part, as a job, already at this age?
Never in a million years
Yeah.
would I have imagined myself at 6 years old on my sixth birthday watching that movie, and then flash forward 10 years to me being
Mm.
here today. It's really surreal.
Yeah. Wow. What was the experience like working for Pixar though in a bit more detail? I mean, like there must have been a lot of routines getting used to and yeah, to get used
Yes,
to.
it
Mm.
was absolutely incredible. It was one of the most amazing experiences of my life.
Mm.
Um, Pixar process is so interesting because I've done animation before, but Pixar is so detailed in their work and they take so much time crafting these characters with animation. So you kind of start out with scratch, and I did scratch. Oh, that's right. So I was filming a show in Rome at the time, and so I flew
Mm.
from Rome to New York City to record my scratch, and that's basically when they're still kind of drawing the characters and they need a voice to animate too. And a lot of the
Mm.
times, the scratch actors will go on to play the actual role in the finished Pixar movie.
Okay.
And so after I did the scratch, I was told that I officially booked the role of Riley, and I went to Pixar in 2023 and I started recording from there. We started, with, sorry, so it's kind of confusing, but we get this, you don't get the whole script, you get
Yeah.
just your scenes the night before. And so you kind of go through your scenes and then you go in and our director, Kelsey Mann, and our producer, Mark Nielsen, they kind of explain everything, what's going on in the story, you record, and then about a month or two later, you go back in and they completely tear it apart and they change things. And so what I started recording was very, very different from what is actually on screen. And I think that is truly what makes these Pixar movies so incredible is that
Mm.
they really takes so much time to perfect the movies. And I think what's really special too is that a lot of my friends have seen it, have been like, that's crazy. When I see Riley, I see you. And she has a lot of the same gestures and hand motions that I do. And what's really interesting is at Pixar, they have a camera and they
Mm,
record me while I'm doing my lines and while I'm recording, and they kind
mm,
of animate to me. So they already have like pre-animated stuff, but when it comes to kind of like the more specific hand motions, they kind of animate towards how I naturally use my hands and
mm.
naturally gesture, which I think is really special.
Wow. So did the creators allow you to have any input into your character as well? I mean, I know you mentioned, the cameras and stuff, but did you have any input for the character development? Um, yeah.
Yes, 100%. It was a very, very collaborative process, which was so refreshing. And our director, Kelsey Mann, was absolutely incredible. I love him so much. He
Mm,
allowed me room to improv and say what is natural to me. And when I was prepping for Riley, I really wanted to stay authentic and true, of course, to the Riley we saw in the first movie. But
mm,
I also wanted to bring a little bit of myself to it because, as we grow up, we change, and you see a massive change, a massive character arc from the first movie to the second movie. Riley has changed a lot just in her personality,
mm,
and going through adolescence automatically changes so much. And I've had my own struggles with anxiety, and
mm.
so I really wanted to bring that to the character. And so I talked a lot with Kelsey and Mark, and how I could bring anxiety and use that in Riley.
Yeah. So it seems like there were a few challenging scenes or emotions as well, to portray. I mean, were there any others besides anxiety? Yeah.
Yes, so anxiety was definitely really challenging, I think, for me, just because it's something I've struggled with a long time. And I
Mm,
think it gave me such an amazing realization that I'm not alone in this journey and
mm,
that, we all experience anxiety and it's completely normal. I think envy was really hard because I think that's an all too real emotion,
mm,
that especially young teenagers are going through. Sadness was also a tricky emotion to
mm,
play. I love doing ennui. Ennui was so much fun because I got to be very sarcastic and very like, yeah, Get Up and Glow
mm,
is my favorite band. That was really fun to do.
mm. Oh, wow. Seems like a challenging ride. Yeah. Do you think the film, accurately represents, teenagers with mental health struggles? Do you think it's accurate, or do you think they could have added a bit more into it?
I think it is 100,000%
Mm,
accurate. When
mm,
I started recording, I was kind of going through my own struggles, and I think with the pandemic and lockdown, that really impacted me. And I think a lot of other teenagers were
mm,
struggling at the time. And I felt alone, and I
mm,
felt really isolated, and I felt like I wasn't myself, and I felt embarrassed, by
mm,
this anxiety and kind of like what's going on in my head. And when I saw the script, it was such a sigh of relief to know that we all experience these things at some time in our life. And every single line that Riley said has something I have said or something that I have thought, especially the sense of self when she says, I'm not good enough. I just got chills. I mean, I can't even count how many times I've said that to myself.
mm,
And it really helped me take a step back and look at myself from the outside and go, wow, like the things we say to ourselves are so important. What we believe about ourselves really impacts us as humans. And I think the belief system was an incredible addition to the film
mm,
because it showed how our beliefs impact our personality and impact our anxiety and impact who we are.
mm.
And so yeah, I think that it was incredibly well represented. And I think that this movie has helped so many teens, including myself.
Well, we can really tell you're an advocate as well, then, for mental health. You have your research, and you know yourself personally as well. You seem like you're very invested in it, in this role specifically. So, yeah,
So much. Yeah, mental
yeah,
health is so important to me because I think for a long time it's something we've kind of like put aside and kind of shut out, but I think it's something that, we need to be open about and we need to
mm,
talk about. I actually
Yeah.
work with a charity called Girl Well, and they're a nonprofit organization, and we cater to undersheltered teenage girls, and we provide them with self-care kits. And it's been such an amazing way for me to get the message of mental health across and encourage other young teenage girls as well.
Wow. Do you plan on expanding the charities, or are you going to focus on the one for now? Do you plan on working with more people within that? You know.
I'd absolutely love to.
Yeah.
I also work with another organization called NVCS, that's local in California, and they serve the community. So I work with them, and I'd love to work with other mental health organizations as well.
Mhm.
Yeah, Girl Well is absolutely amazing. I'm friends with the CEO and founder, Kaylee Joy,
Wow.
and yeah, we're actually doing a packing party in December. We're packing 1,600 bags, which is going to be really exciting.
Wow. That's a lot to do. Yeah. Well, you're definitely keeping busy even outside of acting as well, so it's a good thing on that side. What are your thoughts on how Inside Out 2 handles the portrayal of complex family dynamics, if that makes sense?
Yeah, oh my gosh,
Yeah.
no. I love Inside Out too, and how it kind of the authenticity of like the mom and the dad and their kid, and especially when the puberty alarm goes off and
Mm.
she wakes up and she's like crying and then she's yelling at her mom, and she kind of just she's like, okay, yes guys, I have everything, I'll see you in a couple of days. Like, you really see that dynamic, which I think is really funny,
Mm.
especially as a teenager myself, to see, oh yeah, I've done that, I've said that.
Yeah.
uh, which I think is really amazing to see the family dynamics played very authentic.
Yeah. Do you think the parents, had much of a role, to influence her
Oh yeah,
emotions as well?
100%. I
Yeah.
think all parents, especially Riley's parents, I think they have such an important role in her life. They encourage her. I think a really good scene is after she wins the hockey game and she's come off this huge high. She's so excited. She just got offered this amazing opportunity with the varsity coach, and she starts beating herself up. She says, I almost lost the game. I almost did this. I
Mm.
got into the penalty box. And I think that scene is so special because her parents are pumping her up and saying, no, like, you're putting too much pressure on yourself. You're putting yourself down. Look at all the amazing things that you just did. You just won this incredible hockey game. You're going to this incredible varsity camp. And I think, just as a teen myself, my parents have been such a vital role in my life. They pick me up when I fall down, and I think that's really special.
Wow. Yeah, no, it is. But if you could have like one of Riley's emotions as your personal guide, which one would it be and why?
Oh, this is tricky.
Because there's so many, isn't there? I mean, it's quite hard to choose a specific one.
Ooh, I would say joy. I would
Mm.
say joy because I think what's really special about Joy is she has such a positive outlook on life. And even when things are going completely wrong, Joy always looks on the bright side.
Mm.
And I think that's really important, especially in today's world, despite what's going on and despite, what we're going through. I think it's always important to have the joy inside us and
Mm.
to find the light in the dark circumstances. So I would say joy.
Yeah. Oh, cool. Yeah. Yeah, we need that. We need a bit of joy more, don't we, in this world and as well for other people. So, yeah.
Absolutely.
So I'm just trying to find my next question. It's pre-recorded. That's the great thing. We're acting like it's live. Well, I feel like I am anyway.
Oh, me too, me
Yeah.
too.
Um, yeah. I mean, so you said at the start that you related to Riley quite a lot with her character. Is there anything specific that you relate to with Riley? Yeah,
Yes.
within the movie.
I think her whole personality is very much myself. We're both kind of goofy and
Mm,
silly. We both, love to goof off around with our friends. But, more in a little bit more deeper sense, I think she's really trying to find herself. This is a coming
mm,
of age, and she's trying to balance joy and anxiety and all these other emotions and what's going on inside her head. And I think that is so relatable. I mean, when I started the project, I was going through the exact same things. I was going through adolescence. I was experiencing the same emotions, the same thoughts, the same feelings. And I think I feel really grateful that I get to play her and get to express that to other teens. And,
Mm,
I've had people reach out to me and say, oh my gosh, like I relate to Riley so much. And it's so inspiring to see her relating to so many different audiences because she really just encapsulates everybody,
mm,
everything the human experience is.
yeah, yeah. It's a good way of putting it. What do you hope the audience have taken away from Riley as well?
Yeah, I hope that our
Yeah.
audience knows that it's okay to not be okay sometimes,
Mm,
and it's okay to not be perfect. I think sometimes we put unrealistic expectations on ourselves. Oh, we have to do this perfectly. Oh, we have to do this,
mm,
and that's not true. Just being our messy selves is totally okay.
mm,
And also anxiety is real and normal, and it's okay to feel that way. It's okay to acknowledge those feelings. It's okay to feel
mm,
joy and anxiety at the same time. I think that was a really important lesson that Riley taught me was that, you don't just have to feel one emotion. You can feel everything all at once, and that's okay.
mm.
So yeah, that's something I really hope our audience takes away.
Yeah. Would you give the same advice to adults as well? When it comes to emotions, like, are we all equal within it?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I feel like no matter how old you are, we all
Mm,
go through the same things. We go through different things at different stages, of course, but
mm,
yeah, I mean, our emotions have such an impact on ourselves and our beliefs and what we say to ourselves. And so I guess I would just say to, anyone who's watched Inside Out 2, or to anyone who's going to see it, that you don't put too much pressure on yourself and that,
mm,
that you aren't alone in this. We're
mm,
all in this together. We're all experiencing similar things. And yeah, and to love yourself for who you are. You don't have to
mm,
try and change who you are to appease one person, or appease someone else. You just
mm.
self is enough and perfect. And
Yeah, because you can go home taking it all in a different way, can't you? The story, like you can go home thinking something completely different of it, not what the movie's telling you as well. Um, yeah, especially if you read into it a lot. But yeah,
100%.
yeah. How do you handle, like, this is going on, to you a bit more personal, but how do you handle the pressures of being, in the public eye at a young age? Because how old are you now? I think I saw online it was 16 or something.
Yeah,
So yeah, correct me if I'm wrong.
yeah, tomorrow I'm
Yeah.
turning 16 tomorrow,
Wow.
actually.
Okay. Exciting times.
Yeah, that's a really good question. I think I have an incredible support system at home. My mom and
Mm,
my dad are incredible, and they always encourage me. And I think what's really important is to take care of yourself. Like um, I try to do yoga or work out every morning. I really try to take care of my body and my mental health, and I think that has been so helpful for me. And I think, as it comes to like balancing, like acting and being in the public eye, this is what I love to do. This
mm,
is this is who I am, and I feel like it gives me such a great outlet, and something to put my energy into. And
mm,
I feel like I'm such a creative, and I love what I do. And so
yeah.
every day I wake up, I'm grateful to be doing what I love and to be expressing myself. And I'm auditioning right now, and so when I get an audition, my coach always tells me, it's another opportunity to do what you love.
Mm,
And I think that is really amazing. And I think also what's really special about this is I've gotten to meet so many people, and to see how these movies impact people is incredible. I mean, that's truly the reason why I love acting so much is because of the impact it has. You
mm,
can make people laugh, you can make them cry. And I think to see that ripple effect in real life is amazing and
yeah.
so lucky.
No, it's good. I'm sure we got, a lot more to see you in. I'm sure you're working on a lot at the moment. You're probably getting auditions left, right, and centre at the moment, aren't you? Or yeah,
Yes, the business is kind of like up and down right now.
yeah.
So it's like slow and busy all at
Mm,
the same time. So I've had a couple auditions. I love auditioning. Yeah, I'm just kind of I'm working hard. I'm trying to write a show with my best friend right now, so we're doing that.
oh wow.
trying to keep myself busy. I'm focusing, I love music. I love to play instruments. I love to play the piano and the ukulele.
Oh,
I'm
cool.
trying to learn guitar right now, so I'm trying to do that. I love singing. And yeah, just preparing myself for what's next.
Doing a bit of everything. Yeah. Are you gonna get, are you gonna be working, day to day job, or are you keeping this as your main goal and, staying on the screens?
For the moment, I think I'm gonna stick with acting because I love it so much.
Yeah.
I'd love to do something along the business side as well. I'd love
Mm.
to have my own business and run my own company. I think would be really, really fun down the
Wow.
line. So yeah, I've been thinking about that a lot lately over the summer of like, what do I want to do?
Yeah. Have you got any
Um,
ideas in mind for that, or yeah.
I really want to do, I'm a vegan, and so I really want to have a makeup line and a skincare line. I think that's
Okay.
really, it's hard to find good vegan products these
Mm.
days. I feel like clothing wise, makeup wise, everything wise, because everything has some sort of animal product in it and we don't realize it.
Mm.
And so, and having products that like make us feel confident and good about ourselves
Mm.
is really important too. So I want to do something along the lines of
Wow.
that.
Very
Really fun.
busy.
Thank you.
Wow.
But yeah,
Yeah.
that's down the line, but that's a
Yeah.
dream of
No, of course. How do you feel about the, management you're in at the moment? Just changing the subject a bit because you're under like the same names as Michael Rooker, and you're under a big agency. How are you feeling about that? Like, to just be within that group of people.
It's amazing. I feel really grateful. I have the most incredible team
Mm.
surrounding, the most incredible support system. My friends and my family are always there for me, and I'm really close with my agent and my manager,
Mm.
and um, to have them there has been so amazing, and they've really guided me throughout this process because the business can be very up and down. There are
Mm.
be a lot of no's before you get a yes,
Mm.
and I think having the team that I have, they've really pushed me and really encouraged me to keep going because sometimes it can be hard, you know?
Mm.
Sometimes there are times where you're like, oh man, like I didn't get this role or like, ah. But I think what's important is to always have in the back of your mind that, everything happens for a reason and what's meant for you is meant for you. So when one door closes, another one will open.
Mm.
It's
Yeah, you
really
seem
important.
like you're always going to get the work now, especially with the management behind you and your talent that you got. So,
Thank
yeah,
you.
yeah, it seems to suit you. Yeah, yeah.
Right, yeah, right now it's a lot of auditioning and just kind of like getting back into that
Mm.
groove, which is really fun. I love doing acting classes and working with my coach.
Mm.
Yeah, I'm also in talks for season 2 of my show Home Sweet Rome.
Okay, I
Um,
saw something about that. Yeah.
yeah, so that was an amazing show to film. So
Mm.
fingers crossed on that one because that
Wow.
would be so much fun to go back to Rome.
Where can people watch the first season? Is there anywhere we can watch it?
Yeah, so if you're in the UK, you can watch it on BBC iPlayer,
Okay.
um, and then or CBBC. And
Yeah.
if you are in the States, you can watch it on Max. If you're in Canada, you can watch it on the Family Channel. And then if you're in Italy, you can watch it on Rai Play and Rai Gulp.
How do you remember all that? That's a lot to remember.
At first, I was like, I had to go through like every list because
Mm.
it's amazing. We have so many. It's really special to be part of an
Mm.
international show because so many people can watch it. I feel
Mm.
so grateful that not only my friends in the States can watch it, but also my international friends, which is so fun because I have friends in London, and I was so happy that they could
Wow.
watch and see it.
Yeah.
It's really special, yeah.
Cool. Wicked. Is there anything else you would like to say, to your fans? Is there anything else you would like to say to the people that are following you now? Yeah.
Yeah, I would say never give up. I know that like maybe sounds a little cliche, but don't give up. If you believe in
Mm.
something, you have the power to make that happen. If you work hard, if you set your goals, you have the power to make that happen. And I think also just don't be afraid to be yourself. You're beautiful and amazing, and don't be afraid to let that shine. Be your silly, goofy, authentic self, because I think that's really important, especially as teenagers too, for our teenagers listening. I think sometimes we try to suppress who we are.
Mm.
It's really important to let people know who we are and be our
Wicked.
authentic selves.
Amazing. Thank you so much for coming on and, being a guest. It's been an honor talking to you. Yeah, thank you so much.
This was so much fun. I would love to do this again. Thank you so
No
much.
worries. Wicked. Thank you.